G'day, I'm Garry Pye. As you may already know, Cartoon Animator makes 2D animation fast and easy, especially because of the pre-made motions that can be dragged and dropped onto characters for instant results. But what if you want to keyframe your own motions? Can you do that? Absolutely. With Cartoon Animator, you can keyframe all your own motion. And today, I'm going to give you a quick sample of how to keyframe body motion for a character. So let's go over to Cartoon Animator now, and I'll show you. On screen here, we have my character, Clang. And I have him set up currently with lip syncing, facial movement, and head movement, and he's ready to go. The only thing that we don't have is body movement. So to start with, let me just play you the clip of what we've got, and then we'll get in and we'll make him move.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Okay, so at the moment, everything's working from the neck up, but we want him to be a little bit more energetic, lifelike, dynamic, performing. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually keyframe in the motion. We could drag and drop a pre-made motion onto him. That'd be great. But sometimes you might want to do it all yourself. That's what I like to do. Okay, so you've got two choices when keyframing the body. You've got full body or selected part. If you select full body, move forward and hit set key, that's going to put a keyframe on every single bone in the body in the same place. Okay, and you can see that if we open the motion track, you can see once I open up some of the different parts, here we go, we'll just open up a few different parts, that each of them now have a keyframe on their transform track in the motion section. Okay, so let's undo that because we don't want that on there because we're going to do it all ourselves. The other choice you have is selected part. With that, if I select a part of the character's body when that's highlighted, and then we find it down here on the transform track for the left arm. If we move forward to frame number 10, when I move it, a keyframe is going to be put in there, but it will only affect that particular body part, not the entire body. However, because in the case of arms and legs, that the forearm and the hand are also attached to the arm there, it's, in my experience, it's a good idea to also put in a keyframe on the forearm and the right hand, which you can bring up if you can't find it, which you can bring up from the selector. Where are we? Get rid of the ones we don't need. Here we go, right hand. And we scroll down and find the right hand. Here we go. And put a keyframe on there. Now we have a keyframe so that those three items are moving from there to there. You'll just save yourself a lot of hassle later on if you, particularly with arms and legs, you'll save yourself a lot of hassle later on if you add those extra keyframes in. So let's get started and give Clang a little bit of motion. All right, so he's free of motion. Let's go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
All right, first of all, I'm going to work with his torso. I want his, and we're going to do this as a selected body part. Here's the torso track, transform track. That's the one we want. Okay, so as he moves around, because as I talk and you see me on camera, as you move around, you're always constantly moving. If you do your character just standing perfectly still, truly, it's just going to look like a cardboard cutout and it loses a lot of life. Also, by moving your character around, you're going to get things that have spring bones, like the aerial that's attached to his rocket. The movement of the body is going to cause the spring bone to move as well. So you're going to get extra movement out of it, which looks really cool. So here we go. Okay, so as he lifts his head up, we'll just have him move. Also, don't go overboard with the movements. You don't have to have really exaggerated movements. But once I move the torso, you'll see that it's put the keyframe on there, right? Right, so it's just that little tiny bit, little bit of subtle movement. And if you want to add a keyframe into holding position from there to there, hit V on your keyboard. That's going to hold you a position. So I tend to think of movement as going up on the high notes, down on the low notes. So it's sort of like Garry Pye. So that's how I'll be animating this guy, right? So it's Garry Pye. Sometimes with a character, you'll find that there are just so many bone pivot points that it can make it quite hard to find the point, the bone that you want to work with. So if you can't find it in the image view, click the hierarchy view and you'll get a full list of all of your bones. So at the moment, I want to work with the torso bone. So I select it. I can go back to my image view, scroll up to here on torso, and now I'm going to move the torso. So if we move forward a little bit, have it angle forward a bit. Here we go. Right, so we just get that nice little bob and bounce in his motion. Okay, 1 second. Have him lean forward. Now we want him to hold at that position to there, so we hit V on the keyboard, but then we're going to have him bounce back again. You can also stretch bones. You can have a bone stretch longer than it's supposed to be in the original character. If stretch bone is selected, then you can do that. You will get weird results if you stretch too far, but subtle overstretching will give you really good cartoony results. For instance, on Clang, as he comes back here, right? When he says great, I want him to sort of lift up a bit. Okay, so as he does it, we've got the torso selected, right? Bring him back a little bit and take him up a little bit. So he goes, right? And then if we want him to go back to the same position, copy, paste. There we go. We come along. Now when he says tutorial, I would have him tutorial. He's pushing forward tutorial, right? So I would actually have him push forward a little bit there on the character. Bring him back. And back again. So here you go. Actually, I like him to hold a little bit. He bounces. That's too much of a bounce. If we have him hold for 3 frames there, copy, 1, 2, 3, to there, he's going to move into it and then come out of it rather than bounce. Watch. There we go. Now, he's going back too fast there, so you can slow that down by grabbing and dragging your keyframes. That's better. And that one there, drag it back, make it a little bit longer. There we go. Let's do it again. There we go. Now when he says 4, I'd bring him down. 4. Right. Because he's going to come down for hold it under the V key. And he's going to go up. For car, hold it. Tune, bring it back down. Animator, we'll go the other way just for fun. Animator. Oh, hang on. Oh, now because he's got that dip in his head, animator, we actually want him to go lower, don't we? So let's get rid of that last one. We'll go a different direction. Okay. All right. Now because he pulls his head back a little bit there, we'll take him just up a little tiny bit. But then he goes right down. And we'll take him as a pretty decent dip there. Hold it. Come back one. Hold it just for 2 because it's a fast motion. And then he's going to come up because he's excited. And back. Let's have a look. There we go. You can always tell when I'm happy when I get a good result because the voice goes up. There we go. Here we go. All right. That's great. For the body, that's terrific. But there's more to it than just the body, right? Arms. So we've done the torso. We can take it off the list. Let's go back to frame 1. And this is what I love about Cartoon Animator, right? You can do each part at a time. You don't have to get it all right every frame. You can do just the eyes. do 100 frames. Come back to frame 1, do just the arms, just the legs. And then if you make a mistake, you can go back and you can tweak it. Can't beat it for that, I'll tell you. Okay, so let's go back now and we'll do the arms. Now, as I said before, with the arms, where are we? When you select the arms, you've got the left arm, that's the top section. Now we don't need the sprites because we're only working with the transform. We've got the left forearm, but we've also got the left hand. Now all three of those are going to be affected by any motion that we put on the arm. So it's a good idea to have them all open. Generally, I'll close everything off around it. So we've got the right arm, good on you guys. So we've got the left hand, because it's up here. Here we go. Right, so we've got the left arm, the left forearm, and the left hand. We're going to work on those now as he moves. So let's just start with the left arm and we'll worry about the forearm in a minute. Or from this point, because you've got the three selected, you could just work on the hand, just pull the hand about. And as you pull the hand about, it's going to put in the keyframes for the other three pieces as well. Or you can do it as full body, where you just go from one keyframe to the next keyframe and the software will do the whole thing for you. But I'm not going to cover that in this tutorial. Okay, so as he comes up, as he raises up, I would have a habit of just taking his arm up a little bit like that. Maybe just bring it in a bit. Again, subtle movement is the key, right? See, so it just comes up that little bit. And then hold, then we're going to come back down for Pye. We're going to come back down for Pye, maybe even lower. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes
Pye. Okay. What we're going to do, I'm going to give myself a little bit of room here. So I go 1, 2, 3, put in a V key, and that will hold position. Because as he says makes and leans forward, I think it's cute if his arm sort of goes, pushes himself out. Right? So he goes. Right. Now to really drive his point home here. Okay. You'll see that we've got the keyframes on the L arm track. Okay. What I didn't do, and this is a good tip, I didn't put in the keyframes for the others. Now, look, you can experiment with this. You don't have to, but you're going to get better results if you do, because if you keep to your keyframes, otherwise what happens is the left arm's going to move, but the left arm's going to move, but the forearm is going to move at a different pace, and it's going to throw all your timing out. So I would tend to put those three keyframes in for those. Now, when he says great, actually, here's an idea. Let's have him makes great. Let's have him really swing that arm. So he's got to bring it up. Right. So here, really, what he would have to do is to bring the arm up. Now, sort of bring it up like that. Hey, where's my keyframes gone? Let's have a look. Makes great. All right, let's swing that motion around to here. We'll worry about the hand in a minute. But let's see what happens. Okay. We've got a bit more room there to play with. Here we go. Now, I want it to hold. I want these three frames hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. So that, and therefore move those forward 3 to accommodate it. 1, 2, 3. Because now his arm will go up, hold, and then come back. Because it doesn't instantly do it. That's better. And also, at the end, we want to get a little bit of a sort of a bump or a swing from the hand. We're going to change that. Don't worry about the hand being out of place, being the wrong shape. Now we want the hand to come up. So we're going to go, we want to come down on the tutorial. 2. So we'll hold there. And then bring it down. Look at me doing it with him. And we'll bring it down. Because he's happy with that. Let's have a look.
Makes great tutorials.
Yep.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials.
Now, once he's done that, he's got to put his arm back down. So,
Great tutorial. Great tutorial.
let's take it up just a fraction so there's that bounce in it. You'll notice that when I grab it by the hand and move it, that keyframe goes onto all 3 tracks. That's helpful. So if you do your movement there, whereas if I grab it from the arm, it'll only do it on the arm, won't put it on the others. That's why I missed the first ones. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for...
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for...
Now, when he says for cartoon tutorials, hold it, and then drop the hand. 4, and then come back into position where it started, roughly, okay? Because the other arm is going to do all the work now. So, we're going to go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Okay. Let's forget that arm for a little while and focus on the other arm. So now we need to bring up the tracks for the right arm, the right forearm, and the right hand. So we go back to the beginning. We've got the right arm. Don't need that. We've got the right forearm. And we're going to need the right hand. Where's the right hand? There's the right hand. So let's make sure that these are all together. Right arm, right forearm, right hand. Okay. So let's work out. Actually, I want him to start with his arm down a little bit further. So.
Garry Pye makes...
Okay, so now you'll notice that when the left shoulder goes up, the right shoulder should go up with it or alternate or whatever, but don't move one shoulder and the other one not move. It looks silly. So as it goes up, we'll just bring that one up in line with it. So, and see? So the right arm always comes up with sprite. Here we go. Don't forget this time to put the extra keyframe in for the other parts. So see how that looks better already? See how now his chest... It's almost like he's breathing in as he says Garry Pye. He breathes in. Look, I love that. So now, see, we can see off the keyframes of the left arm where there's a change, so we can just match up with those. And we know now that that's where the arm will drop down again. All right. So annoying when this break comes in. Okay, so
Garry Pye makes...
now as that arm, now this is interesting. Let's have a look. This arm goes back. So he goes, that arm goes back. Does the other arm do anything? If you're standing there and he goes, Garry Pye makes... The other arm doesn't really do anything, does it? So it's like...
Garry Pye makes great...
But just doing nothing doesn't look right.
Garry Pye makes...
I think it should move just a fraction. So I'm gonna leave it to here. Makes... I just feel like it should counterbalance him by going out the opposite direction, just a tiny little bit even. It's you know, like if this arm moves out, this one just counterbalances it. Let's have a look.
Garry Pye makes great...
Yeah, all right.
Pye makes...
Now, when he says great, we'll hold. This one will probably go the other direction. And you can only go to the edge, you can't see the rest, so you don't even need to worry about it. Just that's good. It's always nice when you can't see something you don't have to worry about it. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials.
Yeah, there we go. So when that hand comes down,
Great tutorials.
now he's going to go into for Cartoon Animator, and I want him to put his hand up. So he's
Great tutorials.
now. You know, I have a habit of whenever I stop the animation and I go, oh, that's where I want to put a keyframe in, I always move back one frame. It's almost like just for that, for the time it takes from the thought to go from my brain to my finger, I think, oh, there's that little bit split second extra timing. So I always put in that, go back that one extra keyframe. It's surprising how many times that helps me. Okay, so now we've got to do Cartoon Animator. So we're going to go cartoon. So we'll go car. No, we'll go car. Okay, so what I want him to do. Wait. Let's have a look.
Cartoon Animator.
Cartoon. How would you do it? for Cartoon Animator or for Cartoon Animator? I think you'd go up. Ah. That's too fast. That needs to come in. Slow down. That's too slow. See, it's just a matter of playing around with your timing. There we go. Yeah, so cartoon. Now for car. Hold on that. Tune. Bring it down a fraction. Yeah. Hold it again. Do you know what? I don't know whether anybody else enjoys keyframing, but I absolutely love it. Okay. Now he's going to take the hand down. As he does, I want him to bend the hand down as he takes it down. Same as always, 3 frames. Hold your 3 frames. And then he's going to point to the sky because it's Cartoon Animator. Also, here's something interesting. I'll just show you. At the moment, I've got stretch bone on. So I can stretch his arm as long as I want. If I take stretch bone off, I can only go to here. I won't stretch any further. But for cartoon purposes, it's often better to extend a little bit. Here we go. Too slow. He's got to really punch that sky. Here we go. Now, see how that comes out, that angle? I feel like his arm should come in and up. So therefore, in the middle of that, we can change the way it's bent, and we can bring the arm in a little bit more, and now it will come, it'll flex in and then push out. So it'll be like this. That's it. Good. All right, let's go through it one more time.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
All right. We're looking good. At this point, let's put his helmet back on because we want to get a feel for what this all looks like. What this all looks like finished. Okay. So run through it again. Sorry we're running through it a million times. I don't know if you've already switched off and you're totally bored by this, but the only way to get it right is to go over it and over it and over it and over it. And you know what? I'll tell you something. When I finish an animation and I go, there we go, it's done. That's the point where I go, now it's time to look at it and make it right. Start tweaking it. All those little things that pull your eye and you go, yeah, that just doesn't look quite right. It's not quite right. You're either going to be lazy and leave it, or you're going to fix it and make your animation look good. So that's up to you. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
All right. So really all we've got left now to worry about is his hands. I always do hands last. Always do hands last because sometimes playing around with hands can affect other keyframes. I'm always very, very careful of it. And might be a superstitious thing, but I always start on the right hand first. Okay, so we need to go to... Where are we? Let's get rid of some stuff. Let's get rid of some stuff. We've got too much stuff open. Get rid of the hip. Get rid of the right arm. Get rid of the left arm. Let's keep the right hand for now. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change up the gestures on his hands. So the R finger transform track is responsible for the gestures. Okay, now we don't have to worry about it for a while because his right hand doesn't even come into it for a while, till here. Okay, so make sure that your right hand is selected. Go to the right finger track. Open up the hand pose editor. Now, the right hand doesn't even appear until here, so we don't really need to worry about it. So at this point here, we can have any gesture that we want. Make sure, apply to the right hand. We'll have grab, that's fine. As he comes up and he makes his point, we're going to go into a fist. So now he's going to go from that gesture to that gesture. Okay, you can't really see much there, but don't worry, we will in a minute. Okay. And what we might even do, cartoon, yeah, you would keep his fist closed. Okay. Although you could change to the other one. Just, oh, there we go. If we go to that fist for this one, and then as he comes in, he just clenches the fist a little bit more. Nice. Right, so from there, put in, now rather than put in a V key, I tend to press the sprite again. I don't know why, again, superstition. Maybe there was some, I know there's some reason I did it, I don't know why, that's just what I do. So as he comes up into here, he's going to go to a point because he's pointing to the sky. So now he's going to go fist, clench it, bring it down. Should we relax the fist? No. Come on down. Oh, hang on. I did say I brought it down before, didn't I? No, leave it there. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So, okay. So as we go into the fist, as he drops down, keep the fist, where's hold, reach, hold. Keep the fist tight there. Relax the fist a little bit there. Then it comes back up into the closed fist and we'll come up into the half fist, clenched fist. Is it? Which one is it? Yep, clenched fist. And then there. So we all go like this.
Cartoon Animator.
Okay, so that's the right hand done. Then all we can do is go back to frame 1. Make sure you swap over here and you select the left hand on the 2D motion editor. Select left hand in the pose editor. It's really important to do that because otherwise you're going to apply things to the wrong hands. You're going to forget where it is and you'll drive yourself crazy. Now, another thing I do, it might be a superstition, I don't know, but whenever I apply hand gestures, if there is a gesture on one hand, a keyframe gesture on one hand, I always put it on the other. I don't know why, it's just something that I do. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, might not make any difference, but anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so with the left hand, he's got to come up into the fist, but the left hand will be flipped so that the knuckles are on the inside. Okay? You know what? We can get rid of the bones. We don't even need to look at the bones. If we turn the bones off, because we're not going to change the finger movement at all, gestures, manually, so we'll turn it off. Okay, just for fun, just for something a little bit extra, because we know we've got that extra bone, the extra gesture of like open and close. Let's have him bring his hand up and actually really bring it down. So he's going to bring it, he's closed, he's going to come up, flip it, so the knuckles will open that little bit. Well, actually I'm not going to do it there. I'm going to have him hold there with that one. Flip the hand. Right, hold there. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to come up. Then relax it a little bit. Then bring it down again. So now you don't even really notice it. You don't. But what I was trying to do was to get him to bring it up, relax the hand, and bring it out. Oh, actually, we can make the gesture more obvious. Yeah, relax the hand more. How far out do we want to go? Let's have a look. Too much. I didn't mind that one, actually. Yeah, there we go, look. It happens so fast. Well, we can slow it down. Move the... Yeah, there we go. There we go. So even though you don't really get time to see it too much, Oh, actually, if we take our own rule and take that keyframe, paste it there, it'll stay open that tiny little bit longer. Move that one to give it some room, and then we'll go, yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. There's always a way. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials. Great tutorials for cut.
Okay, now his hand is still, we're working on, oh yeah, that's it, because we've done, the left hand doesn't do anything more in the animation. So, let's go back and have a look. I think we're just about done. This is very exciting. Here we go.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Done. Hey, that was a good afternoon's work. So that's the sort of detail that you can get, the sort of control you can get out of your 2D animation with Cartoon Animator and your G3 characters. Look, you can go in, you can add more bones to your character if you want even more control. You can see that the spring bones on the antenna and the top of Klang's head, how it helps him move around. And all of this, from the 360 head, the head rotation, the blinking and facial animation and lip syncing, it all comes together to give you a believable performance of your cartoon character. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the final clip of what I put together with all of the work that we've been doing, and I will see you for the next video. Thank you for watching. I hope you're getting a lot out of these. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.